All right, I just got a phone call. I think it's from Deputy Holloway's number, so I'm gonna call it up. What it all comes down to is that if you're alone, people can do whatever the fuck they want. When you try to go to the police and they assault you to turn in their officers, yeah, it does kind of put a damper on going to talk to the police, don't it? Meanwhile, they can break the law across multiple jurisdictions, but you can't turn them in because it's multiple jurisdictions and these people can only do things in their own jurisdiction. Well, you can sure as fuck transfer me out of jurisdiction now, can't you? That makes it important and relevant. Looks to me like I am nearly completely out of tobacco. So we're going to call this guy back. It's probably Deputy Holloway. I'm hoping it's Deputy Holloway.
The party you have dialed does not answer. Please leave a message after the tone. After you have finished, press the pound key for more options, or simply hang up.
Morning, you're on Swap Shop. Just kidding. I'm assuming this is Deputy Holloway. This is Sean Schwartz. I was calling you back. When you called me, I didn't have any way to record the phone call, and I don't trust anyone enough not to record the phone calls, so I'm calling you back. All right, now with that little teeny tiny portion of tobacco that I had, I can roll myself a pinner. If you know what a pinner is, you're probably a pothead. Or a stone. It doesn't matter how much evidence you have if nobody's willing to look at it. And one of the best ways to prevent people from looking at it is try to tag them as crazy. Nobody wants to listen to the crazy person. Well, at least not beyond entertainment. And that's the disgusting thing about all of this, is that to most of y'all, this is just entertainment. You're not going to take the role. But then again, those of you who are entertained by this bullshit, there's a small chance that one of you might actually speak out and fight. Hello?
Hey, Sean, it's Deputy Holloway. How's it going?
It's going pretty crappy so far. Out of all of the stuff that I've turned in, none of the evidence has been collected, and I don't have the means to be able to do those things. I am still recovering from the financial and physical abuse that I've had to endure in the last 4 years.
Okay.
I got hundreds upon hundreds of things that I needed to report in the last few months, and I just simply don't trust the officers here. I understand that you weren't a part of the things that happened before you came here, but you work for the same sheriff.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe I'll try contacting to get this resolved.
Well, there's a lot of things that need to be resolved at this point. I've had literally hundreds of phone calls, hundreds of messed up messages and harassment from Jamie Curtis and her friends. And, it would be nice to not be afraid of being shipped off to Scotts Bluff for turning in my predators. It'd be nice to not have Cody Selhorst driving across jurisdictional lines when I should have had a protection order against him in 2018 for threatening my life. He shouldn't have been allowed to go to Lodgepole and threaten my life again.
Got it. Okay. Have you tried calling the U.S. Department of Justice, the Attorney General's office over there?
I've tried calling the attorney generals here in Nebraska, in Colorado, in Washington State, and in Wyoming.
Okay. Do you want the number to the United States Department of Justice?
I do. Especially since FBI agents took part in this.
Yeah. Let me know when you have a pen and paper ready.
I'm looking for a piece of paper right now.
Okay.
And I got a pen handy right here.
Okay.
DOJ. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So the first number is just a department comment line. I don't know if that'll get into something, but I'll give you that number. That's 202.
Okay.
353.
353.
1555.
Thank you, sir.
This next number is the Department of Justice main switchboard. That's 202 514 2000.
All right. I've called hundreds of places already trying to get help. I don't mind calling more. There's got to be somebody who's gonna do their job.
Yeah. We can't investigate ourselves, so I kind of have to direct you outside of my agency in order to get this resolved.
Yeah, and those other agencies are blowing me off too.
Okay.
That seems to be what happens when you try to turn in law enforcement. Law enforcement basically ignores you or threatens or assaults you or many, many, many other things. So who is it that I need to turn the crimes that I've endured since Christmas? Who do I turn those into?
Is it crimes that have to be within Dual County?
There are crimes that have happened within Dual County and across jurisdictional borders.
Okay. If it happens within Dual County, obviously you can report it to us, unless it's about a crime that one of the officers has committed. We can't investigate ourselves. But if it's something that just another member of the public has done to you, you can always come in and make a report.
Well, I have literally hundreds of them. Do you guys have time to sit down with me and go through literally hundreds of these?
Okay. If you're not comfortable with anyone within Dual County taking that report, you can always contact the Nebraska State Patrol.
I've already contacted them, but I'll take their number again.
Okay. Let me get Troop E's number real quick.
Troop E.
Yeah, so this is Troop E. So this is all the troopers. This will be the headquarters out of the Panhandle.
Scotts Bluff, yep.
Yep, so this is 308 632 1211.
All right. Now, what are the chances of them actually sending somebody out to investigate?
Well, I saw there's a couple troopers in our area. You just have to ask for one of them to come out and take the initial report. Just tell them you're not comfortable and have to Dual County. You're not comfortable with one of us taking that report.
Yes, sir.
They should send somebody out. We'll have somebody get in contact with you at a later date. They should take all your information, and then they can go from there.
I hope that's true. The majority of the stuff is that I end up telling people what's going on. I've got the evidence there and present, but nobody ever looks at the evidence.
Okay.
All right. Well, I guess you said U.S. Department of Justice.
Yeah, that's those first two numbers I gave you.
All right.
And then that last one is the Troop E headquarters out of Scottsbluff.
Yeah, I got their number, and I've given them a few calls already, but we'll call them again.
Okay.
Although I've also called the state, or not the state patrol, but the FBI repeatedly, and they tell me not to call them back.
Got it.
I've been kind of hoping that I don't get that way with Troop E or any of these other places that I've been calling, but well, I guess it's a start. Thank you, Sean.
Yeah, try to have a better day, okay?
I'm doing my best. Be safe. Bye. Now, the jurisdiction thing. These officers, when I tried to turn in their officers, had me transferred to a different jurisdiction. That's very, very common. You try to turn in an officer, they do everything in their power to protect their fellow officer, no matter how wrong that officer was. Now, you've heard many police officers say, oh, well, we can't investigate ourselves. We can't investigate ourselves. But then you also get to hear how, well, for example, Scott DaCosta, the sheriff of this town, told me I should have brought it to him first. I did bring it to him first. This is the reason they're not allowed. They're not allowed to investigate themselves so that they aren't able to do the things that Cody Selhorst and Scott DaCosta did, which is do everything in their power to prevent me from doing them. They abused their position of power in order to get away with heinous crimes. Now, from the beginning, I tried doing it the legal way, the right way. Well, the right way doesn't fucking work. Not unless you're a pretty, rich, fucking blonde girl. Short of that, the law don't fucking matter. It doesn't matter what it says on paper if they're not going to investigate it. It doesn't matter what it says on paper if law enforcement doesn't care what that piece of paper says. Sure, on paper, it's illegal for them to do these things because of bias. But in reality, these are human beings who have bias. Just like many of y'all who want to make excuses why this is okay to do to the homeless, but somehow it's wrong when you do it to black people. No, it's wrong no matter who it's done to.